Well, her name was Autumn, and she used to tell me stories of her summer abroad and how she spent nights walking streets alone in foreign countries her family could barely afford to send her to. While the learning opportunities weren't vastly different from those offered in her hometown, her parents wanted her to see the world. We would write each other letters, hers always with calligraphy just passing over the top and bottom line, telling me about how she couldn't wait to be home. While the scenery was outstanding, she didn't quite feel like herself anymore. She spent so long smelling the daisies in her backyard that the absence made her nauseous. I told her she was having withdrawals, but she used that as proof that she was not ready to let her feet leave the dirt of the garden her family was prepared to bury her in. Her sister's name was Winter, and while she never studied abroad, she had no problems learning lessons in familiar environments. She was mature. A shoulder to lean on for those whose shoulders were carrying more than their fair share. Her and I were like siblings. So I will never forget the night that Winter told me Autumn was studying abroad. She hadn't seen her in a fortnight anyway. I think the first destination was Italy. Somewhere familiar enough to be different, Winter was afraid Autumn would drown in the luxuries of Venice. Her parents feared the same, so they sent her to France. Why France, you may ask? Well, Winter was plagued with the same question, so while she begged and she pleaded, I received the first letter. Autumn had not been defeated. Autumn wrote to me about how foreign city streets were lined with familiar-looking litter. And no matter how far away from home she was, she could not get the smell of those daisies out of her head. No matter how much incense she burned, how much salt water separated her from her parents' garden, she could still feel the chemical imbalance caused by dependency being disrupted. Her handwriting told stories of shadows following her through the night, how their vice grip was executed with cold yet clammy hands, but how she was fighting to learn to breathe again. I haven't written her back in a while. I don't know what I'd say. I've drafted letters and arcade prize pens just to watch my empty promises fade away. I don't want to disappoint her more than this stupid semester studying seemingly scenic countries, but I never know what she wants to hear. Winter told me Autumn just wants to know that she's not alone. But I don't know how to translate my presence into the vernacular. I know how much I love her, though. And I know how much she loves me. So I know I need to put pen to paper before world puts pencil to eraser. I need to muster up enough courage for the both of us because I know she's been vulnerable. I can tell by the way her letters try and escape the page that she misses those daisies. And I just want her to know that as long as I have a pulse, she will never be alone.